start with my iPad first. So I teach biology, and the course that I'm showing you here, I integrated my technology in is Bio 1140. So that's biology course for majors, and it has prerequisites of chemistry. So this is principles of biology, cellular and molecular biology. So we talk about molecules and cells. So one of the problems that I have with the class is one is, since we talk about cells and molecules, these are things that students cannot visualize. So a lot of times they cannot relate. So when I start using the iPad and some of the things that I'm going to show you, it just helps students to relate more. So I have a lot more tools, to when I teach them. So one of these the tools that I have here, this is an app called the Molecules, and so you can see here I'm showing the structure of DNA. So this allows me to show them different representation of molecules. So this is a different model of DNA, and since we looked at different type of structures, for example, here when you talk about palmitic acid, this is one of the fatty acids that they learn. They learn that the structure of this molecule is linear compared to when we have unsaturated fatty acid, for example, which is here. It is bent, so they could really see the structures very nicely. I know that textbooks have pictures, but nothing better than having animations like this. It makes it more real. So that's one of the things that I use. But there's a lot of type of molecules that you could view with this program. Now you can look at the structure here. This is interactive. So you can look at different structures, and you can see that very clearly with that. And the third one is the iBook. So there are things out there. This is what I've been using in my class. Let's see. Okay, so example, this one here. We were talking about the different type of organelles in cells. So for example, this one here, when we look at cells, look at different organelles, and this iBook provides many animations that are really gorgeous. For example, this one here, we'll talk about the Golgi apparatus, which is on the left. And so I was trying to, in lecture, trying to explain what this structure is, because it's a dynamic structure. So it does not stay in place, that it keeps developing on one end, and then, it keeps on moving, and then it disintegrates in the other end, and so on. But, it's kind of hard to really show it unless you have animation. And this book, it has sound also, actually.
Moving made proteins and lipids from the endoplasmic reticulum. During their journey through the Golgi, proteins are modified and packaged and then directed to their final destination within the cell or to the plasma membrane for secretion.
So it makes it real. So you don't just use words, pictures, but the animations are there. And the best thing is, there are a lot of things out there on YouTube, a lot of websites, but they're all in there in one place. You don't have to search. So again, that was a really good animation. Students learn about the different proteins are involved in this type of movement. So by looking at the animation like this, they could really see how they all work together. Right. So those are some of the few things that I did with my iPad, and had used Lecture mostly, or most of the time. A lot of animations that I get from YouTube, from the publisher, from different websites. So in the beginning, actually, when we had the technology training, I was kind of doubtful that technology could really help me. I said, okay, I already had a lot of resources. What is it that technology can do more? But as you saw, I was wrong. Okay, so I had these problems here. So these are some things that I did in my class. But since one of the problems I had was passive, I like to have students to be more engaged in the classroom and also out of the classroom. So, Ed and Lorna and Barbara, they were very helpful. They sat in my class, look at how I taught, and they gave me some ideas, and I ended up doing a lot of things. So I'm just going to go back with some of the early things that I did. I used the clickers. Okay, so this is the personal response system. I'm sure this is not new to a lot of you. But what I did was I found new ways of using clickers to make students more active in class. Okay, so here's what I use clickers for. The students are assigned with each students assigned a clicker, so when they come in, they already know what they have, and this is connected to the data system, so I know who number 24 is, and so on. So what we do is we do a lot of things in class with clickers: review of materials, practice the Bloom's taxonomy, because on the exam they had different type of levels of questions, so I actually explain to them what they are, and actually we practice in class. Here I said visitors recall. We learned some terms. Do you remember what it was? So usually I give them about 30 seconds, and then this is short. In the beginning they're like, wait, we don't have time. But after a while they get used to it. Okay, 30 seconds, you need to get the answer. And most of the time I get about 100% for this. This is a recall type of question. And then this is application. So with this, we get various answers. So we'll stop. I said, okay, let's sit with talk with the person who's sitting next to you, and let's discuss this. And then we report after that. And then, by doing that, students, with the first part, usually this is a anonymous system, so they don't want anybody else to know what their answer is. But actually, I push this further to, all right, some of them don't know this stuff, right? So actually start having discussion. And after that, we report, usually it gets better. The students who are better, actually doing better, they actually can start teaching the others. So that's what I get out of this. And also, I go to another higher level, actually, having competition. So we assign groups in class. The clickers system allows me to do this very easily, just based on your sitting. I said, okay, if you sit in row 1, then you'll be in group 1, okay, group protein. So I named this the group differently like this. And after that, we have a harder question. Okay, so they have to discuss. So they sit in groups and try to answer this. So instead of having recall, application, now we have comprehension. Now we have group discussion. And with this, we do it like 3-4 minutes. And then they try to answer the question. And then since it's like competition, instead of just having anonymous results, we have, okay, here's the group. Okay, after we have several questions, and then we can show that here, this team won, right? We also can have these faster responders. Whoever can respond faster can get the points there. All right. So this makes it more likely. Students are more involved. They're more active, and students who are usually just sit in the corner, they are part of the discussion. So that was exciting, and they like it actually. they also enjoy. This is an online flashcards system, and the nice thing about it is that the card sets are already there, and they can be shared, so you don't need to start from scratch. So a lot of the card sets that I have, I just copy from other people, and that's how it works. It's not like you're plagiarizing or anything like that. That's how it works. And you can have it open to the public, or you can have it just for your class. So the way I did it, I use it only for my class, and you can do a lot of things with this. You learn vocabulary with flashcards, but there are also games, and that's what I used in my class. It makes it again more fun. So we review terms and concepts, and with this, I'm going to show you is when we did the review with structures. Okay, so you can see it here. I say it only for my class, by 11:40, and so students need to get permission to get access. You can use flashcards, just what Anis showed. You can flip the cards. You can do tests. So based on your flashcards, you can create an exam, a little quiz for the students. And what I did in class is this game. So they can do scatter game. They have to do matching. So there's structure here, there's a name here somewhere else. They have to match them, and then when they get the right match, and they'll disappear. Okay, so again, I have this done in groups. So a group comes up here, and then the others will start to help the person who's on the mouse. And so it's also timed. So everyone can do it faster. They went with it here, they disappear. So I'm going to try to get it done as fast, as quick as possible, and so on. So again, having it as a game, it makes it more fun, and students are really involved in this. They enjoy it.